Turn on the cameras and turn up the music. We're live in the room, so just stop what you're doing. The other side of the ring, let me show you how I do it. 1, 2, 360, this is how I view it. I go by wrestling flow, but the next stop, the legendary Hall of Fame voice of X-Pac.
Hey everybody, it's another edition of Ask X-Pac, and I'm joined once again by Emily May and my dear friend Nick Hausman from Wrestling Inc.
Hey, hi. What's going on?
Hey, we had I think we had a lot of great feedback from the first set of Ask X-Pac questions.
Yeah, everyone was super excited about it, to hear about your possible return into the ring.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It helped that I had those comments transcribed and we featured them prominently on Wrestling Inc., which is my favorite thing to do, is talk to Sean and then create news. It's a very symbiotic relationship.
It's a wonderful thing,
Yeah, it's great.
All you told me in our Wrestling Inc. interview was that you weren't going to be at Legends Night, and that was like the most trafficked item on the website the entire day. So,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, were people surprised? I mean, dude, I fucking get sick of myself eventually. Fucking hey.
We're recording this. I haven't watched Raw, but we're recording this shortly after Raw. Do you know how Raw went off the air?
I do not.
You want me to tell you?
Sure, go ahead.
I haven't seen it, but I read it.
Oh.
Goldberg has challenged Drew McIntyre for the Rumble.
Anyways, let's get to the questions.
Let's get to the question. I guess we'll move on.
I'm going to make it topical here. I was like, let's work in whatever just happened on Legends.
Nick, you're causing trouble. Trouble.
Sorry.
All right, we're going to dive into the first question. So this is from Sam. Whose idea was it to go against Bret Hart on the July 1st, 94 taping of Raw? Typically, two babyfaces don't match up, especially in the 90s. How did Bret handle it?
Well, Bret's the one that came and told me. It was either Bret or Pat Patterson came and told us both. And I was pretty close with Bret at the time.
Yeah,
I traveled with him a lot, and even before that, I was like my style and everything, and even my look was heavily influenced by the Calgary style, you know. And I'm just a huge fan of Bret and his work and everything. So I was incredible. I was so excited, man. And I think they just, I'm not sure, obviously Vince had to be down with it, else we wouldn't be doing it. But I think the decision came after my King of the Ring performance, where I worked with Jeff Jarrett, and then it was only 5 minutes, but my match with Owen from King of the Ring 94 was critically acclaimed. And I just, and so it was like the next day or something that we got word of that. And actually, the first ever Hall of Fame induction ceremony, was that weekend, the King of the Ring weekend, and Bret was the keynote speaker, and during his keynote address, he specifically mentioned my name, talking about all the people coming up, and he mentioned as being one of the great new, can't remember the exact words, but he put me over huge. And so they played that before our match, at the beginning of that episode of Raw. And that led right into, it just played in perfectly to this match, and in which Bret, basically made me out there. It's a perfect example of winning while you're still doing a job. I didn't say that perfectly, but it's a perfect example of that, man. He fucking went out of his way to make me in that match.
Well, I think Bret just liked you. Because I remember talking to Bret about this when I used to do his podcast, and he always spoke about how he liked your style. I think he just thought you were cool. I think you guys were just friends. So it doesn't shock me at all to hear that after what you did with Owen at the King of the Ring, that Bret stepped up and was like, "Yeah, I would have helped Sean out too." I don't know how high up the card I think he thought he could help you get, but like he obviously liked you, took a shining to you, and like wanted to help you out.
Yeah, going 25 minutes with the world champion and like, I mean, you saw the match and
dude, it's like, classic. I watched.
He gave me so much. I can't believe he just like all this stuff. You do all your stuff to me, all of it. And I potatoed the fuck out of him in that match. Like he told me, he goes, like a couple of those were like all-time fucking spuds that I've ever had in my career.
My question,
Brett does not like to be potatoed.
My question about you, Brett, is what was the party scene like for you guys? Did you go hang out? Did you go to bars together?
No, we drove together. Like, we would. I sent him a picture of the two of us having a meal that somebody snapped a picture of us at like a, TGI Fridays or something. And, that was the extent of it, Yeah, he wasn't a big drinker or partier. I wasn't really when I was, when I traveled with him. He tried to steer me in the right direction. And obviously I went and did my own thing and like ended up being a fucking mess or whatever, but it wasn't for lack of him trying.
Okay.
Was there something that he kept telling you along the way, like advice that he was just like, you have to keep doing this, you have to keep working on this?
No, there was mainly like, like my antics outside the ring that he was concerned about. But anyways,
I don't know.
So,
I've heard some Bret Rhodes stories. I know he was not always necessarily an angel. That's why I was
wondering. No, he wasn't. I just don't like to, like, I don't like to tell stories about what other people did, even if they're with me. Like, it's up. I mean, it's kind of his place to tell. Like, I mean, like over in Europe, we went out a couple times. Hey, so like, real quick, and Bret talks about it in his book.
Yeah.
One time we were over in this was Scotland or something, and Bret and I decided to go out after the show, and so somehow Oscar from Men on a Mission ended up tagging along with us, and we ended up at a fucking neo-Nazi skinhead bar, like inadvertently, and all of us are in there, man. Oscar's in there, and believe it or not, man, like they actually, like if you read the book, like I think. I don't know if we realized it until after we were in there for a while, like what the nature of this place was, but it was interesting, that's for sure.
So what gave it away? Was it just like all of a sudden?
I think maybe they're not the swastika tattoos and the shaved heads and shit. Maybe, I don't know.
Wow,
that'll do it. All right, cool. All right, well, I got my Bret Hart Rhodes story.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing he didn't already tell in his book. No one has a more detailed, accurate book than Bret, and it's because every fucking night he would get back to his hotel room, he would talk into a tape recorder and do it like a blog, his memoirs.
Wow.
His fucking road blog.
I'd love to get a hold of those tapes, man.
Oof.
Oh man, Nick's gonna investigate, try to get those.
And a lot of those great stories he tells in his book, like he told me the same stories when we were driving together.
Maybe I get Bret to Conrad. I'll take 10%.
All right, so we'll move on to another fan question. This is from Gary, and he wants to know, what is your favorite entrance music you've used in your career?
Hands down, it's the Run DMC version of the DX theme.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. I fucking love that. That was my favorite, man. I was so stoked. I was so excited when I found out that they were doing the theme for us. Because man, I'm 10 years old and I'm at the USF Sundome watching Run DMC, Houdini, Beastie Boy. Like it was an all-star lineup, man. Everyone holding up their Adidas and everything. So, like Run DMC is an all-time great as far as I'm concerned. And that was, I think, the last song they recorded before Jam Master Jay was killed.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm surprised with all the money WWE has these days. And I know they have a lot of money because Vince doesn't like to spend a lot of money. But like these songs that, you know, you mentioned, you know, or artists, you Run DMC, right? Like our Uncle Kracker. These artists that people know, like you hear it, even the casual fan, I feel like it adds such a presence to the product. Or like Limp Bizkit, you know, like I miss hearing a lot of more songs that I recognized being ingrained in the WWE product. I thought it added so much, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And even for my X Factor, like, you know, I've told this story several times now, but you know, Shane came to me and said, "Hey, we were thinking about having Red Hot Chili Peppers do your theme song." And I was like, "No, Uncle Kracker."
Hey, the X Factor theme song is a slam banger. It's a classic. Like, I'm kind of upset that you didn't go with that. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. I don't know.
I don't either. I thought it was a great. I thought it was a great theme song. Yeah, I thought it served its purpose. Fuck, people hated us.
I think they resented you at that point. So.
Are there any theme songs you like now? Like entrance songs?
Hey, I'll tell you the one I hate the most. The one that they would play for me for my singles matches, where it would start off X-Pac.
Yeah,
that I fucking hated it.
Really?
Yeah. Even to this day, like before I quit doing matches, like when I would do an independent show, and I would tell them, whatever you do, don't fucking play that song. Play the Run DMC one. And if they fucked up and played that one, like I'd almost like tell them I'm not going out. I'm not fucking doing my entrance.
It
would piss me off.
I vaguely remember you doing this backstage at a show we were on, because I think they played the X-Pac one and you got really upset about it.
Really fucking mad. Really mad. And I wouldn't have gotten mad if I didn't specifically tell them beforehand.
No.
You know, it's so important to me.
Wow.
That's all that's especially at this point, man. I mean, let's be honest. My fucking entrance is about 60% of my act.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, entrances make a big difference.
You're supposed to argue with me on that.
No, I'm not. You're the indie taker.
Nick's like, nope.
No, you're the indie taker. I've seen the pop you get this coming out. You know what I'm sad that I didn't ask D'Lo Brown about in the European title piece was that how is his neck doing after all the neck bobbing? That was another question I had.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do it once and I feel like I'm hurting myself.
There has to be a D'Lo Brown bobblehead somewhere, right? Like the fucking little dolls.
There has to be. Is there one? You should know, Nick. I feel like Jimbo might know.
I have this Bret Hart, Steve Austin WrestleMania bobblehead. Check that. Wow. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
Oh, he's got on the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Hey, does Austin have color in that?
No, there's no blood on it. I fixed it. No, this is definitely from the WrestleMania. This is a WrestleMania 91. This is from WrestleMania 13. And this is actually the official bobblehead for the Bobblehead Hall of Fame. There's like a physical Hall of Fame. I had to do they sent me one. But yeah, there you go.
Okay. I didn't know there was a Bobblehead Hall of Fame, and that sounds amazing.
I get the weirdest stuff. I'm in pro wrestling. Everybody has a link.
I'm going to look up after and make sure I can order some bobbleheads.
It's a good one.
All right. We're going to move on to this is from Patty. Do you have any fond memories of your tours of Ireland and the rest of Europe with AWR?
Yes. So there were these promoters from Ireland, and they were mainly rock concert promoters, and they sort of decided to get into putting on wrestling tours. And so they called they decided they were going to go with the American wrestling theme. So they called it American Wrestling Rampage, AWR. And it was this guy, Joey Cabret, who eventually, like, he has Over the Top in Ireland now.
Okay.
And man, I loved him. And it would be like me, Sabu, RVD. I remember Scotty Too Hotty. Sid was on one with us. Yeah. So man, I just loved it. And they treated us so good. Like, I mean, they catered to us like you would not believe. They had just great buses, great hotels. It just catering was good. Like, it was like one of the, I can't remember being on a better foreign tour, like unless it was WWE. Even WCW's like European tours suck compared to that. I fucking loved AWR and all those people, man. They were great. And I got a lot like some of them even like a couple years ago I had some matches with. I think the guy that sent you the question, Patty Morrow, one time like we were in a match and like I didn't realize he didn't have any underwear on, so I went up behind him and deep danced him, and he was standing there in front of the whole crowd, fucking balls hanging out and everything.
Wow. Wow.
Oh my God. Anyways.
Huh.
I love those guys.
We can't do anything without you bringing up.
I know. I feel like this is a running theme.
Yeah, asshole or balls or something.
Yeah.
Is there like a favorite match that you had when you were on the tour, or like moment?
Not so much like a favorite, but I tell you the one that sticks out to me the most is we were having, excuse me, it was a tag match and we were in Belfast, Northern Ireland. It was RVD and myself against Sabu and somebody, I can't remember who. But my ACL, like we talked about this plenty lately, my ACL was torn then too. And so like I learned how to tape my knee to kind of hold it together, but it would cut circulation off. So like we're getting into the finish of the match and I get ready to go do my dive. And when I fucking hit the ropes and go to do the dive, my fucking right leg won't fucking work. And so like I burbled over the top rope and my fucking head bounced off of every rung of the steps. They had metal steps that for some reason were right in the middle of the ring instead of off in the corner. So my head went boom, boom, boom. And I still have I could feel the freaking scar tissue right here, man. And I ended up with staph infection.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Well, because I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't even get fucking stitched, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a wrestling life.
I'm glad you don't do that anymore, Sean. I'm glad.
Man, that's a story.
Glad you lived.
I remember RVD laughing. He was like, "Oh, when I burbled over the top rope." I can't remember exactly what he says, but it was enough to, even though I was kind of fucked up, I started laughing. Oh man, yeah. So, anyways, that's my story from.
Oh my goodness.
From that.
Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Good. Testicles, near death, Bret Hart. What a mixed bag.
Yeah.
What a mixed bag. What a mixed bag.
Yeah. Hey, so AWR, I got to be in the very first pro wrestling match in Bulgaria and Romania because they brought us there. It was pretty neat. Yeah. Yeah.
And how was the reaction?
Oh, it was great because it was what we call a virgin crowd. Like you could grab a fucking headlock and work up out of it into a top wrist lock and the place would go fucking nuts.
It's new.
Yeah.
We miss that here in the States. We're all too smart now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anything else about memories of AWR?
No, that's about it. Just that I just really loved working for them. They were great.
Cool.
So, is that everything? Is that all the questions?
Those are all the questions. Do we want to do any more?
How are we doing time-wise?
We're
20 minutes.
I think we're good for now.
We hit the mark.
Yeah.
We did hit the mark.
That's why I was laying out. I was like, we're gravy. We did it all right. We did everything correctly. Good content on time.
Yeah, we're killing it tonight.
There you go. We're rocking and rolling. Do you want to do like a little outro?
Just hey, thanks for tuning in, and I appreciate the questions. And we'll get to more of them. And pretty soon we're going to be asking for more questions from y'all. So see you all next time. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Em.
No problem. Bye, Sean. Thank you.
Bye.